You've got rid on you. Well, yes. 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 You've got rid on you. Well, yes.
Hello? Can you all hear me? It's pestilence time. Give me just a second as I am still trying to figure this out. This, I guess, visual isn't really working for me. So if you would give me a second, I am doing some quick troubleshooting here. It is very nice to see you today. I apologize for the fan. It's a little stuffy in here. More than usual, of course. There we go. Now you can see all of my face parts moving. Not just the little ones, you know. Either way, hello and welcome to today's stream. In case this is your first time here, my name is Grimoire Index. I know that's hard for a lot of you. Grimoire Index is my name. And today we are indeed looking into SCP-049 also affectionately known as the Plague Doctor. I was also told that I need to be whispering a little more, so this is the relative tone that I will attempt to keep the whole stream. Please. Welcome in, and thank you to everyone who has redeemed the check-in redeem. Just thinking a better way to do that. Yeah. Head pats for all of you while I get this situated, okay? Content overlay may need zooming out a little more. It's got up at the top. Yeah, I am going to actually change this to something completely different. So give me just a second. I'm actually going to delete what I have here. And we're hi, by the way. Hi, I'm here too. This is the version of me that's to the side. It's just a little cutout from my camera. I am actually just facing the television. Hi, can you see me in the reflection? Isn't that cute? Hi. Very cool. Yes, I agree. Oh. I'm so glad you guys can't see this yet. It looks really bad. So yeah, I'm really glad you guys can't see this. Give me just a second. Right. And then we're gonna go ahead, add some filters to this. Because, you know, I'm not without my filters, of course. I like that I can have one thing on the screen and you guys can see something completely different. I like that a lot. We saw nothing. Damn right, you saw nothing. Let's turn the vintageette amount up a lot, because technically, I'm not actually intending for you to read this. Yes? Yes, how are our ghouls and readers and ghosts tonight? Are you doing well? Are you eating? Better eat something. I'm alright. How are you? I'm fine. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of soda afterwards. But after we start getting into this. So this is an active version of the page, so I can click and do things on this page and stuff like that. Yeah. Are you all excited to hear about the Plague Doctor? I think I'm a little excited too. Yes, there's audio. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that to work, but we will definitely try our best. Also, it's 0 degrees Celsius here. It is so cold. And yes, I understand that I am an American, and we don't normally use Celsius. Who cares? SCP-049. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-049 is contained within a standard Search Humanoid Containment Cell in Search Section 2 at Site 19. SCP-049 must be sedated before any attempts to transport it. During transport. What in tarnation is Celsius? It's a made-up degree system that the Europeans and everybody else decided to use, as opposed to Fahrenheit, which is freedom units. PGM, by the way. No BGM. No. Ironically, not so free in North Korea, who also use it. Well, it's because their version of freedom is different than our freedom. They have freedom light. Freedom light. Unfortunate. Can you hear it now? Freedom to do as they're told. Can you hear? Can you hear the people sing? A little loud. Okay. What about now? Much better? Okay. Let's do a quick test of the voices so this way, we don't...
Alors, comment devrions-nous commencer?
Oh, he speaks French. Ooh. We love good French. Anyway. Continuing. Remember, I'm undead, so I can't catch diseases. I'm undead. I can be as thirsty as I want. I can walk into that cell and he could touch me and I'd be like, well, did you get something out of it? I got something out of it. You'll see what I mean when I continue. SCP-049 must be sedated before any attempts to transport it. During transport, SCP-049 must be secured within a Class 3 humanoid restriction harness, including a locking collar and extension restraints, and monitored by no fewer than 2 armed guard. While SCP-049 is generally cooperative with most Foundation personnel, outbursts or sudden changes in behavior are to be met with elevated force. Under no circumstances should any personnel come into direct contact with SCP-049 during these outbursts. In the event SCP-049 becomes aggressive, the application of lavender has shown to produce a calming effect on the entity. Once calmed, SCP-049 generally becomes compliant and will return to containment with little resistance. In order to facilitate the ongoing containment of SCP-049, the entity is to be provided a corpse of a recently deceased animal usually a bovine or other large animal, every 2 weeks for study. Corpses that become instances of SCP-049-2 are to be removed from SCP-049's containment cell and incinerated. SCP-049 is no longer permitted to interact with human subjects, and requests for human subjects are to be denied. Temporary Containment Procedure Update. See Addendum 049-3. Per Containment Community Order 049 S-19-171, SCP-049 is no longer permitted to interact directly with any member of Foundation staff, nor is to be provided with any additional corpses to be used for its surgeries. This order shall persist indefinitely, until such a time as a consensus regarding ongoing containment of SCP-049 can be reached. Description: SCP-049 is a humanoid entity, roughly 1.9 meters in height, which bears a resemblance to a medieval plague doctor. While SCP-049 appears to be wearing the thick robes and ceramic mask indicative of that profession, the garments instead seem to have grown out of SCP-049's body over time. There's a footnote here. Moment. The robes and gloves are identical to a thick hide built up on the skin, while the mask is composed of a kind of chitin growing out of the bones of the face. Ooh, so it's like the mask is his face. That's interesting. Okay. And now are nearly indistinguishable from whatever form beneath them. X-ray indicate, despite this, SCP-049 does have a humanoid skeleton structure beneath its outer layer. SCP-049 is capable of speech in various languages, although prefers English or medieval French. There's another footnote here. The entity claims to have originated from 15th century France, although admits that it is particularly well traveled. Oh, there's a link here. We won't click on that yet. While SCP-049 is generally cordial and cooperative with Foundation staff, it can become especially irritated at times at times outright aggressive if it feels the presence of what it calls the pestilence. Although the exact nature of this pestilence is currently unknown to Foundation researchers, it does seem to be an issue of an immense concern to SCP-049. SCP-049 will become hostile with individuals it sees being affected with the pestilence, often having to be restrained should it encounter such. If left unchecked, SCP-049 will attempt to kill any such individual. SCP-049 is capable of causing all biological functions of an organism to cease through direct skin contact. How this occurs is currently unknown, and autopsies of SCP-049's victims have invariably been inconclusive. SCP-049 has expressed frustration or remorse after these killings, indicated that they have done little to kill the pestilence, but will usually seek to perform a crude surgery on the corpse using implements contained within a black doctor's bag it carries on its person at all times. There's a little footnote here too. The space within this bag is seemingly anomalously large, as SCP-049 has been observed pulling out objects larger than the bag from the bag itself in order to operate on deceased subjects. While these surgeries are not always successful, they often result in the creation of SCP-049-2. The French, oh god, it's a monster. SCP-049-2 instances are reanimated corpses that have been operated on by SCP-049. These instances do not seem to retain any of their prior memories or mental functions, only having basic motor skills and response mechanisms. While these instances are greatly inactive, moving very little and generally in an ambulatory fashion, they can become extremely aggressive if provoked or directed to by SCP-049. SCP-049-2 instances express active biological functions, though these are vastly different from currently understood human physiology. Despite these alterations, SCP-049 often remarks that the subjects have been cured. Ooh. SCP-049-1 Discovery. SCP-049 was discovered during the investigation of a series of unknown disappearances in the town of Montauban in southern France. During a raid on a local home, investigators found several instances of SCP-09-2, as well as SCP-049. Did I read that correctly? I think I did. Anyway, while law enforcement personnel engaged the hostile SCP-049-2 instances, SCP-049 was noted as watching the engagement and taking notes in its journal. After all the 049-2 instances were dispatched, SCP-049 willingly entered Foundation custody. The following interview was conducted by Dr. Raymond Ham during their initial investigation. The interviewer is Dr. Raymond Ham from Site 85, and of course our interviewee is SCP-049.
Introduction.
Is that French? Can we get a translator?
The King's English. No need for translation, sir. I can speak it well enough.
Good. My name is Dr. Raymond Ham, and I...
Ah, a doctor. A like-minded individual, no doubt. Wherein is your speciality, sir?
Cryptobiology. Why?
A medical man, such as myself. Wonders abound. And here, I worried I had been abducted by common street thugs. This place, then, this is your laboratory. I had wondered, as clean as it is, and with such little trace of the pestilence here.
The pestilence? What do you mean?
The scourge. The great dying. Come now. You know
He's tapping his head furiously here.
What is it they call it? No matter. The pestilence, yes. It abounds outside these walls, you know. So many have succumbed, and many more will continue to, until such time as a perfect cure can be developed.
He leans back in the chair.
I am very close. It is my duty in life to rid the world of it, you see. The cure, to end all cures.
When you say the great dying, are you talking about the bubonic plague?
He pauses.
I don't know what that is.
I see. Right, well, the entities our agents encountered at the house, they were dead when you encountered them, yes? You reanimated them.
In a manner of speaking, you see things too simply, Doctor. Expand your horizons. Life and death. Sickness and health.
Oh boy.
These are amateur terms for amateur physicians. There is only one ailment that exists in the world of men, and that is the pestilence, and nothing else. Make no mistake, they were very ill. All of them.
You think you cured those people?
Indeed. My cure is most effective.
But the things we recovered were not human.
Yes, well, it is not a perfect cure, but that will come with time and further experimentation. I have spent a lifetime developing my methods, Dr. Ham, and will spend a lifetime more if necessary. Now, we have wasted too much time. There is work to do. I will require a laboratory of my own, one where I can continue my research unimpeded. And assistance, of course, though I can provide those on my own. In time.
Oh, I don't think our organization would be willing to...
Nonsense. We are all men of science. Fetch your coat and show me to my quarters, Doctor.
He's gesturing with a
Our
pointed
work
stick.
begins now.
And log. Interviewer's note. While SCP-049 is capable of communicating in a very human way, there is a strange sense of unease that one experiences when in its presence. Make no mistake, there is something very uncanny about this entity indeed. Additionally, we've confiscated that pointed stick that SCP-049 keeps waving around. Part of this was due to the standard confiscation protocols for possessions of anomalies, and part because SCP-049 is really a menace swinging it around like he does. The entity was displeased at first, but after we made some concessions in providing it with test subjects, which are admittedly more for the benefit of our own research, it warmed up to the idea. Addendum 049-2. Observation log. A small technicality. A quibble, in fact. Oh, that is so good. While in Site 19, SCP-049 has spent a considerable amount of time studying and performing surgery on the various mammalian corpses it has been provided. SCP-049 will routinely spend days performing surgery and then, regardless of whether or not the corpses become an instance of SCP-049-2, spend several more days documenting its findings in a thick leather journal stored within its doctor's bag. SCP-049 will often seek to share its findings with members of Foundation staff. The following is a log of several occasions during which SCP-049 was observed operating on a mammalian corpse. Okay, guys, this is going to get a little graphic, so keep that in mind. We're going to get a little graphic in here. So, Observation Log 049-OL Summary. Subject SCP-049. Preface. A subject D 85-123 was introduced into SCP-049's containment cell. The entity expressed sincere gratitude towards all members of the containment and research staff. Observation notes. SCP-049 began asking D-85-123 several standard medical questions as it began removing tools from its bag. Shortly after finishing its preparations, SCP-049 quickly closed the distance between the two, killing the subject with a touch of it to its throat. Afterwards, SCP-049 made a number of considerable alterations to the basic structure of the subject's corpse, often introducing fluids from within its bag into the subject by way of hand-powered pump and copper tubing. The resulting SCP-049-2 instance became animated, flailing and grasping at the walls of the chamber with a number of manufactured limbs while moaning out an oblong orifice now present in its sternum. During this time, SCP-049 was observed taking notes of the instance in his journal, remarking to watching the research staff about the efficacy of the cure. Security personnel entered the chamber to move SCP-049 back to its containment and were attacked by the instance. The security team dispatched the 049-2 instances, and SCP-049 was returned to its containment with no resistance, stating that it was pleased with the results. Oh, it looks like ads are getting ready to start in possibly 3 minutes' time. Are you all enjoying the story? Do you have any questions? Isn't this so interesting? It seems like you have to be living in order for him to work with you. Do you think? I mean, we love a girl with goals, right? We love a girl with goals. I think I'm really curious, what he's trying to cure. There has to be something inherent in humans or in living creatures that he's trying to cure. It cannot be life itself because he is reanimating the body. Humanity, but it also works on animals too. So I'm just really curious what it is. I think they hint that in 500. Well, don't worry, we'll get to it. I am gonna drink some water because I'm starting to feel the itchiness in my throat. Oh, that is so good. Oh. Okay, so animals cannot be affected by the pestilence. It is just humanity. So he just wants to cure humanity? Oh, excuse me. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, the water. Excuse me. He still has to work with animals but wants human subjects. So humanity could be an answer. Oh, that's so dangerous. It's a long story, but SCP decided that people need to go and mentions Plague Doctor doesn't hurt them anymore. Huh. I'm a little, because, ironically, 500 is a wild canon of itself. I know Lobotomy Corporation isn't technically canon, but it would be really funny if it was. I also know that if you get the Plague Doctor, it's only a matter of time before, well, your base is over. I feel like there's so many, speaking of Lobotomy Corporation, I feel like there's so many of the things that if you just pick wrong, you lose. There is, and I'm going to briefly spoil it. So if you don't want to hear, if you don't want to hear what Plague Doctor does in Lobotomy Corporation, or vaguely what I think he does, essentially every time so in Lobotomy Corporation, you have different SCPs that you can work with, right? And you, throughout your time there, you can essentially work with them in different ways. And as you work with them in different ways, you can gain more information about said SCPs, right? So obviously, with the Plague Doctor, if you react to him a certain way, he will essentially put your name on a list. And of course, at times, that's why I'm not reading the article. I will get back to the article once the ads are done. He will react to your name a certain way. So he'll put your name on a list, and once essentially the wheel is full and the clock strikes midnight, he turns everyone that is on his list into instances of him, and he slowly destroys your entire facility. He is definitely one of the ones you do not want in your facility. He is considered a game-ending one. So if you get him, it's already over. The other thing is that every day, regardless of if you work on him or not, he will still pick someone. It doesn't matter if you work on him. If you avoid him, it doesn't matter. He still takes someone. So, if you have the choice, don't take Plague Doctor. Okay, spoilers over. But yeah, it's a really fun game. A friend of mine that I hope will, join me eventually in this streamer space. We were doing a soul link of Lobotomy Corporation, and it was so much fun. If you do like SCPs, I highly recommend that game. It is so much fun. You will have so much fun learning about how different things are, and I will say a lot of them are not one-to-one, so just pay attention to what's happening to you, to your staff, and, save the ego. Maybe I'll play it a little bit for you guys. I know how chaotic it can be. Welcome back, everyone. We were talking a little bit about Lobotomy Corporation. Let's go ahead and get back to our SCP. Observational Log. Observational Log 049OL2 Summary. Subject: SCP-049 Preface. SCP-049 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased goat. SCP-049 expressed gratitude at the provision. Observation Notes: SCP-049 operated on the goat corpse for several days, eventually resulting in an instance of SCP-049-2. SCP-049 expressed pleasure in the outcome, though admittedly the disease was still in its nascent stage. My veterinary practice is rudimentary. but the patients responded well to the procedure. Observation Log 049-OL3 Summary. Subject SCP-049. Preface. SCP-049 was granted the corpse of a recently deceased orangutan. SCP-049 expressed noted gratitude at the provision due to the similarities between the orangutan and common human physiology. SCP-049 spent several days operating on the orangutan, animating it several times. However, SCP-049 appeared to be discontent with the result it experienced, returning to the creature 3 times after its initial reanimation for additional work. After it was unable to reanimate the corpse for the 5th time, SCP-049 turned the corpse over to Foundation staff for incineration, stating, "I've learned so much from this, though I fear my early optimism was misplaced. I hadn't come across such a stumbling block in my road to the cure. More subjects like this would do a great deal in advancing my research." Observational Log 049-OL7 Full. Subject SCP-049. Preface. SCP-049 was provided a corpse of a recently deceased bovine. SCP-049 expressed mild annoyance at the provision, though accepted it nonetheless. There's a footnote here. Hold on. SCP-049 had stated it desires to work on human subjects several times between this occasion and the earlier provision of the orangutan, noting its discontentness when they would not be provided. Observation Notes. SCP-049 spent several days operating on the bovine corpse, breaking only to dine on a requested dinner of thin crackers, salted pork, and hard cheese. SCP-049 stated that it does not require sustenance, but it enjoys it, and feels that food helps put it in the right mind to operate. Oh, that's kind of cute, I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting like a sticker idea. Beginning first by embalming the corpse, SCP-049 was observed, putting a number of long syringes from its bag, each containing a different dark and viscous fluid. SCP-049 described these fluids as the essences of the humors, and elaborated by saying the pestilence may bring about a systemic imbalance. In such a case, before true healing can begin, one must find the humors in balance, or the body will reject the cure. SCP-049 added to this statement, this of course elementary knowledge for the practical physician. I would have thought you would have learned that during your education. Over the next few days, SCP-049 spent a considerable amount of time adjusting the organs of the bovine corpse with a number of metal instruments. After 8 days, SCP-049 produced a lightning rod, which Dr. Ham exchanged for an electric cattle prod and attached it to an extensive cord and struck the corpse in several locations. This action seemed to have the effect of reanimating the bovine, which once again became ambulatory, despite the inversion of head and reorientation of its limbs. It's time for the follow-up interview. Begin log.
We've watched you work for several weeks now, and honestly, I'm not sure I understand what you're doing. Could you describe your process in detail?
Oh, goodness, no. The process is most intensive, as I said to your assistant. The best instruction you will find about my methods are here in my journals, as I have kept exhaustive records of my work there.
I see. Well, my concern, Doctor, is that we still don't understand what you're seeking to cure, or how it manifests, or how turning these creatures into quasi-living, mindless drones helps in that effort.
You do not understand the pestilence, even after all this time.
That is really painful.
Doctor, it is an unspeakable horror, one that has shown its true face many times before, and will again. I find myself blessed with the wisdom and good senses needed to root it out and destroy it. But many, like yourself, cannot. It is a cruel judgment, I fear, to be at the mercy of a disease you cannot fully comprehend.
That still doesn't answer my question. How's your cure any kind of cure at all?
It is a cure. You may laugh at my efforts if you please, but do not besmirch the good name of scientific progress that has developed this great mercy. What you short-sightedly see here is a life better than any this creature could have hoped for. Stricken as it was with the pestilence, this creature is now clean, unable to spread the pestilence, and free from the terror it would have experienced otherwise.
This is hardly a creature at all, Doctor. It's not even...
Do not jape with me, sir. You and your colleagues are like so many others, unable to look past minor setbacks to see the salvation taking place before your very eyes. Do you wait to remove rotten timbers until the whole collapses on top of you? No. You find them and you pull them out and replace them with those untouched by rot. And most of all, you do not simply mock the structure because it now looks different to you. It is strong. It is free of disease.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to agitate you. I'm just trying to understand.
Yes. Well, do mind your words in the future, Doctor. I am a professional, but even professionals may feel the bite of pride in dealing with criticism of their masterpiece. I will forgive this as an act of good faith between colleagues.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that will be all. Another test subject on the usual schedule. You know my preference of subjects with more human anatomies.
And log. Also, welcome in. Feel free to relax with us. We are apparently rage baiting the Plague Doctor. Yes! When he started breathing hard, I was like, oh my god, is he gonna kill him? Oh my. Like, Anyway, Attending researchers' notes. SCP-049 does genuinely want to help other humans, though it has yet not been able to provide a concrete example of what it's exactly trying to save us all from. I've watched it over several weeks now, and while the outcome do not seem to ever change, SCP-049 continues to claim that it's growing closer to its perfect cure. I think the entity may be more aware of the reality of these outcomes than it would like us to think. Like, I'm really curious as to what it's trying to, does it know something is coming? Does it know something's coming? Or, what is it asking for? Oh, anyway. Addendum 049-0493 is that April 16th, 2017 incident. Words are very hard for me today. Despite me being a librarian, words are hard. Starting shortly after SCP-049's initial containment, Dr. Ham conducted a number of interviews with the subject and its anomalous properties. and over time began to note its displeasure with the subjects and the SCP-049-2 instances. This continued for a period of several months, in which SCP-049 never exhibited any aggressive behaviors. On April 16, 2017, as Dr. Ham was entering SCP-049's test chamber to conduct another routine interview, the entity began to grow anxious and asked Dr. Ham if he was feeling well. Following protocol, Dr. Ham reminded SCP-049 that the interview was required, after which the entity became hostile and attacked Dr. Ham, killing him. That interview, due to a lapse in security protocol, and because Dr. Ham did not activate the in-chamber emergency system, Dr. Ham's corpse was not discovered until 3 hours later, at which point SCP-049 had converted into an instance of SCP-049-2. In the aftermath of this incident, SCP-049 was interviewed by Dr. Saron Sherman. Interviewee: Dr. Saron Sherman, Site 42. Interviewer. Words are very hard. Interviewer: Dr. Saron Sherman, Site 42. Interviewee: SCP-049. Begin log.
I need you to explain yourself.
No response.
SCP-049, you are being directed to explain your actions, and I will remind you that failure to cooperate will result in further restrictions during your containment.
Pauses.
My actions do not need to be explained.
You killed Raymond Ham, and then butchered him until he...
Not dead. No, not dead. He is cured.
Cured? Cured of what?
The pestilence, sir. I had thought you, at least, would realize what luck it is. I detected it before.
What pestilence? You keep going on and on about this pestilence, but you have not once been able to properly identify this disease. What could you have possibly seen in him today that you had not seen so many times before? That it would be worth his life?
The pestilence presents and progresses in unforeseeable fashions, and has a queer way of creeping into the unprepared. And call it what you want, Doctor. It was a mercy I did to him. He is cured.
He is a vegetable.
I would not expect you to understand. You and your ilk have proven time and time again not to be men of science, but men of emotion. You cannot appreciate the horrors I have seen. Those many millions who have succumbed to the pestilence and been changed.
Your cure cost Ray his life.
No, good sir. I have saved it. You would allow this world to slip back into the despair of disease and death, ignoring that I have created a miracle. And
what disease? What pestilence? He was a healthy man. He was a good doctor.
I'm offering it freely to the afflicted. You are not worth this argument, sir. You are short-sighted and foolish. Dr. Ham was sick, and I cured him. I am the only one who can do this. My work must continue. There is still so much to learn, so much
I've had enough of this. Consider your allowances revoked.
Even you.
Welcome to containment, 049.
Might be saved.
We're done here.
I can save them all. I can cast down this plague once and for all. I can do this. Only me. I saved him. Dr. Ham. I cured him. He was sick. I know he was sick. I know he was. And you are all sick, but I can save you. I can save all of you because I am the cure.
Oh, and log. Well, well, shit. What? Well, rib Dr. Ham. I was expecting him to make it out, but apparently not, so, but that's okay. Yeah, hit the... It looks like we have a little more to listen to. Are you guys enjoying this? Do you prefer my little bits of commentary? I'll try to be a little bit more quieter. Okay? Addendum 0494. Post-incident report interview. The following interview is an excerpt from 4/16/17, the 049 incident report. The interview was conducted by Dr. Elijah Eaton and took place 3 weeks after the start of the initial investigation. I'm enjoying it, and I'm glad. I'm trying to keep my voice relatively low this time, so this way you guys can enjoy the more ASMR-y qualities of my voice. I'm not using my big, thick mic. I feel like it's not really needed right now. Let's begin. Date 5/7/17. Interviewer, Dr. Elijah Eaton. Interviewee, SCP-049. Begin log.
SCP-049, we are conducting this interview to close out our investigation of your actions taken on April 16th that resulted in the death of a staff member. Do you have any comments to make? Only that I look forward to the day when you will allow me to resume my work. I have spent the last few weeks compiling my notes and constructing a new theory for how the pestilence was able to infect someone in such an insidious manner that I nearly couldn't detect it. Have you experienced any remorse for your actions? For the death of Dr. Ham? Ah, yes. Well, the death of a colleague is always regrettable. But in the face of the pestilence, we must be swift, Doctor, and act without hesitation. Dr. Sherman noted in his report that you seemed to be mournful during your initial interview. Mourn? Perhaps. I had not thought that. It is lamentable that a fellow doctor became infected, but the work continues. Regrettable as it was, Dr. Ham's death provided important insight. Living human subjects are the only way to proceed forward, I am decided. My cure is of little use on dead flesh, and I have gleaned all I can from your generous supply of corpses. My desires turn towards tending to those still living who suffer from the disease. I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. Oh, Doctor. I wouldn't be so sure.
And log. And there looks to be a hyperlink attached to that. So let's click on it. Let's go on a little journey. Does he kill that man? I wonder if he kills him. Going home. This looks like it's a story, so tuck in, everybody. Going home. He felt it. the unmistakable sensation of pestilence. It was impossibly small, but unimaginably intense, like a needle in his eye. It was faint but pungent, as though the disease had been festering undisturbed in containment for so long that its miasma had built and wafted out enough for him to taste the scant particles of tainted air. He had lost track of time in his cell. Doctors had used to come and bring him specimens to study to perfect his method. That had ended long, long ago, when the doctor realized that they themselves weren't free from disease. Still, after that they checked on him. The voice would come out of his walls and ask him questions about what he was doing or how he was feeling, or if he had any regrets for what he had done. Regrets. That thought was as foolish as he had ever heard. Still, even that too had faded in time. The voices long ago had stopped, and he had been content to rest in this pristine cell, away from the wretched disease, alone with his thoughts. And the constant soft white light that bathed his cell, the doctor reclined himself on a comfortable mattress. Eventually, perhaps, he would have stopped thinking. But that had been before that familiar, detestable presence had returned, burning at his mind. He found himself standing before the door to his cell, studying it. It had no handle. It opened when his captors ordered it. While the lights had remained functional, the electromagnetic lock had not. His bag contained steel tools, and he had not understood how to relent. It took a tremendous amount of doing, but he got it open a crack, wide enough to put his weight into it. He didn't know how long it took to widen it, to pass through. He didn't really register the passage of time anymore. Then he was in a hallway, well lit and devoid of any other life, all the easier to navigate. He followed the stinging sensation of the disease, navigating the corridors as though he had drawn up the floor plan. The lights were all functional, as all of the other containment cells still sealed. At last he had found it. Behind an unlocked door, within a locked metal locker. His concealment cell door had been made for much sterner stuff. In short order, the door lay twisted at his feet. He pulled out a rectangular metal box from a locker, studying it intently. His finger found a button and pressed the box lid, and the box lid swung open. Supercooled, preserved gases mingled with the air outside the box for the first time in a long time. He might as well have been struck in the face. Vapor, colder than ice, wafted in a great cloud from the unsealed box. He dropped it to the floor with a clatter which echoed throughout the silent facility. He steeled himself, kneeling down, lifting the face-down box aside, and gingerly plucked the tiny black speck from beneath it with his index finger and thumb. Beneath his mask, he grit his teeth and held the mosquito up to his eye. It wasn't the insect. It was the sack of blood which the creature had gorged on. The upturned metal box had become his operating table, black bag slamming unceremoniously to the ground, his hands dove inside, withdrawing an empty brass syringe and a vial of thick black fluid. Then plunged through the cork stopper, filling the gas cylinder halfway with the viscous pitch. It It wasn't the insect, it was the sack of blood which the creature engorged on. The upturned metal box. The needle withdrew, then pierced the engorged mosquito's body, withdrawing the plagued blood within it to mix with the black medicine from his syringe. He left the insect's dry husk on the box, bringing the syringe level with his eyes. He shook it, tapping the glass with his finger to encourage the reaction. He considered the dead husk of the creature before him. It wouldn't do to let any lingering trace of the pestilence remain on the poor creature. When he was satisfied with the mixture, the needle found the insect's blood sac again, filling its tiny body with the cold black mixture. The insect's dead body twitched and jerked to life as the black fluid filled it. The body's movement built up a tiny electric charge, enough to reboot the silicon microprocessors in the bug's brain. Leslie's eyes were the first organs she remembered how to interpret. She should be in the living room. That's where she'd gone. But this wasn't Meryl's living room. The blurred figure she saw. It couldn't be Meryl. Who's there? She weakly asked at length. The clarifying black blur shifted, coming more into focus. Where's Meryl? There is no one here but me and you. That's a fact. The black form shifted and came closer, until white filled Leslie's vision. She made out the icy gray eyes observing her. Oh God, where am I? You're in a prison, though the wardens, it seems, have left. Prison? Leslie staggered to stand on her 6 legs, wings slowly returning to life to beat weakly. What kind of prison? Her voice cut out as her GPS locator cut on. Oh God, I'm on Site 19. Is that what this is called? Is that what this place is called? Odd. After all this time, I would learn the prison's name from a mosquito. I need to get back to Meryl. I don't know where or who Meryl is. I know where he lives. I could find it. The weight of her situation began to dawn on her. She was several hundred miles away from Meryl's house, in the middle of Site 19, with an anomaly she knew nothing about. Still, at least it wasn't some monster trying to kill her. I don't know how I could ever get out of here. The doctor stood up and brought one hand to curl slowly before his eyes. I've gotten myself this far, and now that I have no further reason to stay here. Then you'll help me get out of here? Leslie's wings bore her up to land on the black gloved hand. I will. I can't thank you enough, Doctor. I can't thank you enough. Thank you. Leslie gathered herself, ceasing her trembling. My name is Leslie. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor. The wind blasted the landscape mercilessly, as it had every day. At least today, there was no astringent rain. Thick, gray, black clouds roiled overhead. The pair had walked for nearly a week, and had not yet encountered a single living person. The few animals they had seen were sick, mangy things. Leslie felt the sky weigh down on her like a dark gray iron blanket. She was having a hard time remembering what the sun looked like. She was afraid she might start forgetting Meryl's face. "We're close," she said to break the monotony. "Just a few more miles, and then..." She didn't dare finish the thought. The sound of the doctor's feet crunching through the parched landscape was barely audible over the rush of wind. "And when we will arrive?" Tell me, Doctor, why did you come all this way with me? You could have left when we got out, gone your own way." "Merely because I wanted to." "Thank you, Doctor." Leslie did not know what to do when they arrived at Meryl's house. Barren streets howled with the wind, but Leslie could only hear the wails of lamentation. The lights were off. The door hung open. No one had been here in decades. They went inside. The familiar living room would have made her retch if she was physically able. Meryl wasn't here. How long? It looks like ads are getting ready to start, so we'll take a brief pause here from the story. Whew. How are you guys enjoying this story? So Leslie is a little mosquito. I think that's kind of interesting that he's kind of reanimated. I've always wondered if his cure would work on the animals. And, if you can hear me, if you want to dodge the ad checks, consider becoming a ghoul, ghost, or ghast. Please do not feel pressured to, okay? Do not feel pressured to. You can instead continue being you, and I will see you after the ads, okay? Yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. Me too. So I had some really good soup today. It was delicious. When I'm in the library, I can eat as much soup as I want. And, my vampire biology doesn't, immediately, get rid of it. It was so good. I was so happy. Oh my goodness. It was a red curry with dumplings, and I'm gonna have more after this because I still have some inventory to do. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You guys have no idea. I wanted to also ask you all if you liked this format, this kind of particular so you guys can see what I'm reading on screen. Not really, but you can visually see it. Hopefully you all like that. It took me a little bit of time to get it to work, but it was worth it. It's a nice extra. Adds a bit something nice to the stream. I agree. I think in a little while I'll probably get some more soup. Well, after we finish this article, I'll get some more soup and yeah. Definitely have some thoughts about making it even better, but you've done amazingly. Oh, well, of course, for the short amount of time that I had. You're smashing your Grim. Oh, thank you. Looks like the crows have let me know that it is. You all should be back. So, welcome back from the ads. Let's continue. Leslie did not know what to do when they arrived at Meryl's house. The barren streets howled with wind, but Leslie could only hear the wails of damnation. The lights were off, the door hung open. No one had been here in decades. They went inside. The familiar living room would have made her retch if she were physically able. Meryl wasn't here. How long? Leslie asked as they stood in silence in the room where she had died. The question wasn't directed at her companion. She checked the clock on her eternal position. How long? He repeated, unsure. 200. I have been dead for 200 years. She wailed, collapsing in the palm of the doctor's hands. Then Meryl is dead. So it appears. Everyone is dead, she said, seemingly able to grapple with finally with the fact. Everyone and Meryl. Not Meryl, that's my goddaughter. So it appears. Everyone is dead, she said, seemingly. The doctor sat on the frayed, ragged carpet, resting his back against the wall. The hand which Leslie mourned held out before him. Where will you go now? He lived here. He lived here, so now I will live here. It will be just like it was. She couldn't continue. She fell to her side against the rough but comforting leather. She had no tears, but her sobs racked her nonetheless. Any minute, Meryl will come through that door. Then I will wait for him, here with you. And that was going home. That was really sad. Wow. I mean, it's very clear to me that he has a conscience, right? He has a heart. Like there's empathy in there. He's got empathy. Like he definitely is a creature ruled by empathy. And he has this professionalism. Yeah, he's just genuinely trying to help. Is there more tales on this particular SCP? There is another tale in the first footnote. Okay. Well, let me scroll to the bottom then. Excerpts from the medical tragedy of Dr. Bartholomew Arts. Author unknown. Act Primus. Scene Secundus. An office in Berlin. Enter Dr. Bartholomew Arts. The doctor. Alack! Plague is too common in this time, and skin festers as it festers boiled, and young babes die, mouths mewling, caked in grime, by Cadius. Is this world all spoiled by winter? Some say this world will be gone. Ye elder gods of Greece, guide my wise way. Hermes, kind runner, see my will is done. Deliver unto Zeus, as I shall pray. Bestow upon me heart healthful, magical staves. The holy spite with them shall shave face, and with them fill this world diseased caves. They hold the thing to end this world's strife, my God, to end this horrible disease. If I that chance, it instantly I'd seize. Enter Facade. Lord Doctor. Ah, the young Facade, young, beautiful Facade, thy face unmarked by treacherous pus, returned from the Italian lands, what tidings dost thou bring? Facade. Venice has been taken by boils, spices have been scattered, doors have been crossed, and thresholds twice crossed. Methinks a threshold twice crossed makes for a poor barrier. Indeed, my lord. Tell me, what of the children? Babes and mature of all kinds lay in the streets, clinging to corpses as they expire. Some cling as they are thrown into flames. O Lord! In some Venice, some are saying that the Lord has forsaken us, that we are now at the whims of some fey creatures. Some have poisoned the welts so that fewer suffer. What is this cough? It is not, my lord, a simple choke. Facade, show me thine underarm. Nay, my lord, I cannot. I command thee, show me at once, or be dismissed. I beg you, my lord, you shall be mad. And I say that madness wrought me, if thou dost not show me thine underarm. Facade lifts his shirt. O young Facade, thou hast the pox, and I have twice crossed thy threshold. You as good as have it now, Lord Doctor. Facade, why? I simply wanted you to see me once more, before I became unto a corpse. He draws a knife, and thus, Lord, I say, Facade, desist. Adieu to this long-dying world. Adieu to this plague. He stabs himself. Mary, forgive me. He dies. The doctor. Oh, what a fright this is, how putrid the plague, how rank this disease that touches me. My heart, it weakens. Oh, cruel fate, cruel, cruel fate. I feel the boils upon my heart. From thy bosom I wrest thy dagger and plunge it into the heart of the plague itself. Exit with the body in the cart. Act Secundus. Scene Tetris. A hill in a dark forest. Enter Aqueous and the doctor with spades. Aqueous. Soft, Herr Doctor. We have arrived. What is this damned place? There once was a fey hill. The fair folk gathered here to partake in merriment, to have endless lust-filled nights with humans, companions, and devour them in the morn. Where hast thou brought me to such a pagan place? We could hardly mount such an expedition in the city, my lord. Aye, but a far hill? The hill simply looks fair. My lord, inside there are tunnels innumerable, caves infinite. where the fair folk caper nimbly, making love and luring foolish men and women into their orgy-tastic deaths. Aye, but why have I been brought here? I mean to stop the plague, not to find a wife. Aqueous stand on top of the hilltop, and crow as a hen does when eating seed. Do this thrice, and thy way shall be wrought, my lord. So be it. He walks to the hilltop. Pox, pox, pox. Exit Aqueous, enter Pox. O Lord, what art thou? Why, I am the thing thou hast summoned. I am Pox, a simple goblin. Thou hast summoned me, so I shall grant thee one wish, and one wish alone. There is a plague upon this world. Aye, it is known. The plague has been present since creation. Since creation! Indeed. Then I must cure it. At once. I wish to be the doctor that cures this horrid plague, and save the earth once and for all. For once and for all time. A notable endeavor indeed. Now first take a doctor's wooden mask, and bathe in ardent, supple soft. Next the part of this great noble task is to say thrice while holding it aloft, O midwife of the blood-red cursed king, O pagan horrible creatures of long yore, hear my plea. My pleas be heard from all the grimoires I sing. Bestow upon me knowledge of elder lore. Then fill the beak with medicinal spices, carnation roses, mint, a cherry and sponge, a leaf for a life saved from vice. The mask is done and all the toxins are expunged, and so this enchantment complete, and this spell shall send the great plague straight into the black hell. It shall be done. Marry this pagan cursed rite shall be done, for the love of God. Yes, for the love of God. Goodbye way, yeah. Exits Pock. It shall be done. I shall retrieve the mask and spices, and my cure shall be most effective. Exit Doctor. Enter Aqueous and Pox. Pox. Poor foolish doctor. He had a good humor about him, all fair and balance, till his facade was taken away. 'Tis a pity. Aye, 'tis. For his sake, come, Aqueous, let us follow him through the way. I wish to be present when the doctor cures his first patient. Scene Tetris. Act Tetris. Scene Secundus. The deathbed of Heir Arnold Bodhi during a storm. Enter Bodhi and his wife Livia and their servant Distrol. Bodhi. I feel God close to me. I fear I join him on this night. If I do, I fear not. I fear it will not be heaven. Livia. I have sent for a doctor, my love. Thou shalt not suffer. Bodhi coughs. Pray rest thyself on the bed. Driscoll. Let your life end as it began, Lord, swaddled in bedclothes, surrounded by loved ones and servants. Bodhi. It is not my time. It cannot be my time. A loud rapping is heard. Who calls at this hour? In such a tempest? Livia. It is the doctor, most likely. Driscoll's pretty. Fetch him. Driscoll sighed. She has craved me for many nights. It is only now that she is saying it, and it is in reference to what? To fetching. Ah, what a life. Exit Driscoll. Enter with the doctor. Livia. Bold. Ye gods. Bold. Thine appearance is most striking, Lord Doctor. I pray thee, be not afraid. It is simple, my garb, but I assure thee, beneath this cloak, I am as human as thou art. Who is ailed? Bodhi. I am Lord Doctor. Then let surgery commence. To Livia and Driscoll. Pray, leave us. A doctor must work alone. Livia. I must protest. He is my husband, and I shall not leave his side should he die. The doctor. You shall not die, madam, but I pray thee we shall leave, for this procedure is scarring both to the mind and body. Exit doctor with Bodhi. So we are alone. Now that Herr Bodhi may die, perhaps we may be able to. A cry is heard. What was that? Enter housemaid Panic. Monster! A monster in Herr Bodhi's room! He was pecking his eyes out. I saw through them. The humor was being extracted. I saw the monster drink his blood, consume his righteous humor, and smear black bile over its beak. Surely thou art mistaken. Dr. Bartholomew is no monster. He is a simple man. That is unlike any doctor I have ever seen. Enter the doctor. See, he comes. The doctor. He has been cured. Come hither, Herr Bodhi. Enter Bodhi, blood over the front, mask on the face, and exit, housing me crying out, Oh dear God! Driscoll, what is the meaning of this? Fear not, loved ones. I have been cured of the plague. This cure shall be spread to you all as well. Driscoll draws a dagger and attacks Bodhi. Die, abomination! They fight. Driscoll is struck down, and a mask, much like the doctor's, is forced upon his face. Livia. Oh, Lord! Driscoll, the doctor, Bodhi. Come. Our cure is most effective. Exit Livia, pursued by Driscoll, the doctor, and Bodhi. Act Terratus, Scene Terratus, away between worlds. Enter Pox and Aqueous. Oh, the plague is dead and gone. The plague is cured and gone. Soon the humans will be overrun. The plague is dead and gone. Indeed, Lady Pox, it is done. Man's last hour is now. Not even Abaddon could have accomplished this. He and all his demons fit in hell, seeing what fair folk have wrought. It is not we who shall rot. Come, let us watch from a future-facing window. Act Quartus, Scene Primus, a guardhouse in Berlin. Enter Grossman and Pratchman, two guards pursued by Abomination. Back, swine, back! He thrusts a sword into the Abomination. They fight. The Abomination falls. What foul creatures are these? Grossman. I know not, friend. I fear that this may be the end times. The dead walk, their eyes eaten, their humor drained. I was in good humor a while ago. Until a while ago. Well, what happened? I soiled myself whilst we were chased. These are hydrated as they are. Hydrated how? When one dies, two more rise in their place. When two dies, four more, they come for more. When 20, 40 rise. Fetch the guns. For the love of God, fetch the guns. I do not believe we can hold out against the entirety of Berlin town with simple guns. All we require is 2 bullets. 1 for each of our mouths, then. Aye. The abomination rises. Oh, get back, Pratchman. Fetch the rifles. Exit Grossman and Pratchman, pursued by the abomination. Act Quartus. Scene Tetris. Terratus. The doctor's office. Enter the doctor. Oh, spite upon us all! I was deceived. The fair folk were not. Nay, the fair folk, those blasted beings. They said that this was a cure for the plague. Enter Pox. It was a cure for the plague, Herr Doctor. The plague of humanity. For far too long thy kind has impunged upon this world horrors of all kinds, and now thou art the death of humanity. I am a healer, not the false shepherd, the doctor says. Thou art the best shepherd we could have asked for, Doctor. Now the world returned to the Fae, and nature shall once again bloom. We thank thee. Nay, I say, nay. The doctor draws a lancet and attacks Pox. She falls. Who? We created thee. Thou shalt end humanity. Dies. God above, devil below, forgive me. I am witnessing the true final end times. Tempted by a fey wretch who I let live. I must make repentance for my crimes. He stabs himself. Let this end with my blood spilt upon the stones of Berlin. Forevermore, this plague is done. Dies. Enter the abomination, several, who carry corpses out. Finn. What an interesting little story, huh? So, according to this play, it is a cure for humanity itself. However, though, I feel like, in a way, yes, but in a way, I'm not sure if it is humanity, because would he not be hostile to every human that he encounters? I mean, obviously, yes, he essentially kills any human that he directly touches, right? So, I'm not sure if it is directly humanity in the actual SCP story, so who knows? I do agree that it was very interesting. I also need to remember to put up some more I think there's some insinuation surrounding why certain members of the Foundation don't get targeted. Yeah, there might be something there. I don't know what it is. Either way, though, wasn't that interesting? Would I would I no comment. I don't know, when he was angry, he was doing something for me. Lock me in a cage, I guess. The Foundation is cold, not cruel, usually. It can take some time to not the ass. What I'm saying, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, like, I wonder if you could meet someone that is, I wonder if it's cruelty, like, if, like, they decided to test, like, different styles of human. Yeah, of course, this is just one interpretation of, but if I were a researcher on the team, I would, like, test different types of humans to see what exactly it is that he's looking for. Like, I'm really curious as to what in a human that he is seeing that kind of on set also adds in 5 minutes, that is on setting, because originally Dr. Ham did not have it. He said he didn't have it, and one day he did. So it might be something that's going on. And it's not empathy, because I feel like I feel like it's something else that is unique to the human experience. It's not sentience, because he would have just straight up attacked anyone that appeared in front of him. And I would think you could probably get 049 to pick out subjects, although I expect the ethics community might have something to say about it. Listen, the ethics committee, whatever, the ethics committee has nothing here. I'm pretty sure we can get him some subjects. So if you're listening, Mr. Plague Doctor, hit me up. I'm undead. I will ask that we probably have to harvest some people outside of the, in the, late returns pit, but, we can get them fresh, and we can get them in, there are plenty of late returners, right? I think it would be, jolly cooperation. I think it would be very jolly cooperation. Either way, the ethics community gets once again, the ethics community gets more. Yeah, I always feel bad for them. I always feel so bad for them because no one actually cares about them. Man, that entire branch has an entire rabbit hole to go down. Yeah. Let's see if there's even more. Looks like there's another tale. But we'll wait a few moments before the ads, fully get in here. Despite my thirst, he, they, it, they, them, they are, we're gonna go with they are, because despite having a human skeleton in there, and I believe the article uses it, we are not going to presume their gender. Check the Discord. Of course, this is a good time to plug the Discord. If you're looking for a spooky place to hang out, or just a place where you can get to know me better, consider joining our Discord. It's quiet and small, and, you can always visit me. You can just walk right into my office. If you are a ghast or ghost, just walk right in, and usually you can find me in the chat. I'll probably be drawing or doing something fun. So, if you want to hang out, come and visit. There's you've sent me something. Just a moment. The Declan the Doctors. So before I get into this, we will probably read this after ads, and then we will call it a day. I hope you all are enjoying the stream today, and perhaps enjoying the ambiance. It's rather quiet here in the library Paradoxica. We're always in like a city of some kind. One day I'd like to go near the sea. I have a little book cart. Did you know the library works like that? As long as there is a place to return and, give and retrieve books, the library can be there. My employer was playing a joke with me one day. He said, if you're not going to get off work, I'm going to send you on vacation, right? And I'm going to send you on vacation. So one particular day, he gave me a task to go and retrieve a book. So, I suit up, my hair is done, I go to retrieve the book. I'm going through it. And the library exits on a beach. And I turn and I look, and the library Paradoxica is a simple hut It says library on it. And my employer locks the door and says, "Enjoy the evening, Grim." And so I got to spend the day on the beach. It was beautiful. I promise you, it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Stars just right down the sky. The water was perfect, clear almost. And the beach, the sand, there wasn't really much of it. It was black pebbles. It was beautiful. There weren't any other humans nearby, so I couldn't grab a little snack, but I had to eat when I got in, but it was gorgeous. Truly gorgeous. Welcome back, everyone. It looks like one of my crows, thank you, Dewey, has found a hub for the Plague Doctor. So let's go ahead and read this a little, and then I'll send you on your way. In the beginning, there was death. Excuse me. Death is not the greatest of evils. Rather, it is the wish to die when one cannot. Sophocles. In the beginning, there was death. Then and forever after. As creation's most ancient beings, there are few things the brothers' death do not entirely understand. Oddly enough, one thing are their own creation. Born from a mass grave at the time of plague, the children of Barrow forever owe their allegiance to death, who gave them life. Born from conflict into conflict, the children of the Barrow always seek to create a world without it, a world where they will no longer be needed. Born with a skill in medicine and healing, the children of the Barrow name themselves Plague Doctors, a name fitting for more than one reason. For each plague they cure, another is brought forth from their very existence. The children of the Barrow only wish to heal, but the brother's death may have other plans for them, as does life. Three short scenes about death. The smell of rot was in the air. As the afternoon sun began its descent, the footsteps of the approaching stranger fell upon the quiet village as poison leeches onto an unguarded hall. The muddy road never touched his immaculate back boots, and the hem of his long robe was as clean as a starless night as he made his way towards his destination. The small hill that overlooked the village and the cottage that stood on its top were his goal. At the foot of the hill crouched an elderly hound. His eyes were clouded, and the hair on his muzzles were white, but still he rose to greet the stranger, his long tail wagging back and forth furiously. The stranger stopped and reached a gloved hand to pet the old dog's head, his fingers gently scraping behind the hound's ears, causing it to whimper happily. The old dog rolled on its back, and the stranger gave his belly a rub. His belly similar attention. The hound yelped like a young pup at that. The stranger laughed, and if anyone was there to hear it, they likely would have noted how unlikely it was to hear that sound coming from that cold, pale face. From the hill above came a wail. A young woman came rushing out of the cottage, her face ruddy with tears. An older man came after her. a visage drawn in pain, to gently lay a hand on her shoulder. The woman turned to him and buried her face in his shoulder, weeping loudly. The older man combed his fingers through her hair, obviously holding back tears of his own. At the bottom of the hill, the hound looked up worried, but the attention of the stranger soon swayed it back into compliance. As the stranger himself observed the scene impassively, cold, silvery eyes passing over the woman and man and cottage, as if those all were less than dried leaves that covered the surrounding countryside. He made no hails, nor did he move to ascend to the top of the hill. Some time later, a third man emerged from the cottage. His outfit was that of a country physician, though his pale, iblis bird mask belied this impression. He spoke briefly to the older man, nodded to the woman, and then returned inside. Moments later he emerged once more, this time carrying a large bundle in both hands. Seeing it, the woman wailed again, running back into the cottage and slamming the door behind her. The older man shook his head, said something to the physician, and the two shook hands. The older man followed the woman inside. All the while this occurred, while the physician, bundle in hand, began to make his way down from the hill onto the muddy road below. While all this occurred, the stranger never lifted his eyes from the hound, who was now dozing in the sun next to his feet. Long fingers kneaded the hindquarters, where an old hunting wound left a scar. As the physician stepped onto the road, his eyes fell upon the stranger. He stopped mid-step, bundle clutched tightly in his hands. "She is not for you, youngest." A deal was made. The stranger gave the hound one last pat and turned to face the physician. Eyes like frosted glass measured the masked man. "A deal?" "I recall no such thing, diagnostician." The physician gasped the bundle more tightly. "You gave us leave, damn you! You gave us leave." The stranger cackled, this sound lacking all the joy of his earlier laugh. He straightened, and in his full height he loomed over the physician like an oak over a stalk of grass. "Be wary of making assumptions, insect. Know your place. Know by whose power your rotten form remains on this earth." The physician looks up defiantly for a moment, and all resistance seems to leave him. Something within him crumpled, and he dropped the bundle to the earth. "Have her then. You always get yours in the end, don't you?" The stranger laughs once more. Silvery harvest sickle appears from the folds of his dark robe. He raised the instrument to the air, and the physician closed his eyes, unable to watch. The very air was parted in two, as the sickle descended to the ground, to hover above the head of the old hound, whose labored breath slowed, then stopped. A silvery thread unwound itself from the elder dog and curled around the sickle like early morning fog, and the air was momentarily filled with the sound of proud baying of a hound in its full glory, filled with the thrill of the hunt. The physician stared as the stranger stashed the sickle back into his robes and turned to leave. "The hound? You came all this way for a dog?" The stranger half turned and looked up to the early autumn sky towards the slowly setting sun. I have told not to make assumptions, did I not?" The physician did not know what to say, so he said nothing. He bent down to pick up his fallen bundle. As he rose, the stranger was gone, leaving only the scent of rotting snow and dead leaves behind him, and a comment. I happen to like dogs. One sniper. The warrior gasped at his own shattered corpse. His face, adorned with newly formed beard that he had been so proud of, now sported a rather ugly dead hole in its center. His brother in arms didn't stop to arrange his body in a more dignified pose, so it remained splayed on the dirt where it fell, in its one remaining eye staring blindly in the desert sky. This can't be happening. An explosion in the distance, screaming. 7 improvised demolition charge. Total 8. Flies were beginning already to gather around the warrior's body. Tiny insects buzzed around spilt grain matter, relishing in the unexpected feast. The warrior, horrified, tried to wave them away, but it did not appear to notice him. It was as if he was not all there. As if the body that was all left of him. But that was clearly not true. It wasn't true, was it? He was here. This wasn't what was promised. To his horror, the warrior found that he no longer felt anything. When he looked at the meat that was formerly him, he made no further move to swat away the flies that began buzzing about the ruin of his face. Nor did he scream when a battered SUV crushed it carelessly below its wheels as it rushed away from the battlefield, carrying wounded that appeared to be in better shape than his corpse. 25 series of anti-tank missiles, total of 33. The warrior now became aware of the droning, somewhat metallic voice. But where did it come from? Where? 43 ambush, small arms fired, total 76. There it was, towering directly over the warrior as if it was always there. A gargantuan armored shape that eclipsed the sun, a behemoth compromised of broken arms and shattered walls, war personified, terror incarnate, pain and desolation made manifest. 144 airstrike. Total 210. Greetings, warrior. The atrocity's voice scarcely seemed that it could come from such a monstrous figure. It was smooth, calm, and cultured, the voice of an elder preacher or respected general. The warrior found himself strangely drawn to it, as if the creature appeared repulsed, appearance repulsed and terrified him, stuck between fleeing the creature and approaching it. The warrior stood his ground, staring at it with undisguised trepidation. 1 from sudden heart failure. Total 211. You seem oddly yourself, warrior. Awareness lingers within you yet. Unusual. When the warrior made no reply, the creature continues, eyes like massive laser sights bearing into the warrior like a trench tunnel. Come now. You needn't fear me. There is very little left to fear, really. What's happening to me? Something in the creature's rough features moved. The warrior could almost imagine it was grinning. Why, the inevitable, of course. You're done. But this isn't how things were supposed to go. This isn't supposed to happen. The only thing that was ever supposed to... This was the only thing that was ever supposed to happen to you. The warrior found himself screaming. Do not mock me. I was not promised this. There was to be glory and justice and reformation of proper order, and I was 20. Trap hole. Total 231. And who, warrior, made such promises to you? The prophets, the scripture, my mother, my father, the preachers, my teachers and friends. Huh. There's your problem. Unreliable sources. Such a shame, but not really. The warrior scream now bore the distant edge of panic. Silence. I don't believe you. It is not over. It is a test. Yes, a simple test, that is all. You are a demon sent to torment me, to try my faith, but I will not let you. No, 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 I will not. The warrior's voice faltered as the massive figure turned away from him. Around them, the sounds of battle began to weaken and dwindle, and the world was losing something of its color. The sun was setting, and the warrior thought. He did not dare look out to find that it was true. He feared that he would find the sky empty. Are you quite done, warrior? For I am. The others are collected. It's time to go. And indeed, the warrior was suddenly surrounded by his lifelong fellows and his generation-old enemies. None seemed to pay attention to him as he strode towards the creature with unfaltering unity, marching towards the beat the warrior could only hear. Where are we going? The figure turned to him once more. The mangled iron expression was impenetrable. Elsewhere, warrior. To a place where you'll be a warrior no more. Follow, or not. It is all the same to me. The figure was marching away, the warrior's form. Fellows following a snaking troop behind it. What could he do but follow? Jesser, the prince of many faces, was sweating profusely. He despised everything about his current situation. He despised the massive